Come Scrapbook with me, we'll talk about Vocaloid Po-Uta. Now, I'm gonna get to the reason behind why he is named that, but for the sake of Spanish speakers and Filipinos, I'm gonna call him Po. Po is an English Vocaloid 6 voice bank released in March of 2023. Po has no canon age or other character information, and he is voiced by Porter Robinson. Yeah, the same Porter Robinson that we all know. So Po's name is a pun. It's Po-Uta, which is porter in Japanese. Or if you're British, I guess, but Japanese specifically. The name is stylized as Po-Uta, Po coming from porter, and Uta meaning song. So porter song, basically. Slap it together and it reads as Po-Uta. But it sounds like a bad word in Tagalog and Spanish, so Po. Po was not Porter Robinson's first dabble in Vocaloid. First of all, he's been a fan of Vocaloid for a very long time. Like, we know he's a big fan of Teco Nina and Buzz G. And most notably, of course, he wrote Sad Machine and Goodbye to a World with Ivana. No Among Us potion necessary, and definitely not the first Vocaloid that went to the moon. Just an 18-year-old Celtic elf. 10 years ago, Sad Machine was actually the popular of the two songs, but on TikTok it seems to be Goodbye to a World, which nearly sent a lot of Vocaloid boomers into a coma to hear that on TikTok. Anyway, Po's the first English release on Vocaloid 6, not counting the starters that come with the engine. Vocaloid 6 had just debuted in October of 2022, and Po released a few months after that. During this time, I would say the Vocaloid fandom was cautiously optimistic about Vocaloid 6. The Vocaloid 5 era was the flop era of Vocaloid. Yamaha, the company that owns the Vocaloid brand, had cut ties with most of the companies that make Vocaloids. And usually during each era of Vocaloid, a whole bunch of new Vocaloids release. Vocaloid 5 had 3. Compared to the 20 Vocaloids of Vocaloid 2, 30 of Vocaloid 3, the 20 of Vocaloid 4, V5 had 3. And during that time, a lot of companies jumped ship from Vocaloid. They went to other softwares. So a lot of early Vocaloid 6 had a lot of cautious optimism. Like, that's cool, we're not gonna get attached though, just in case. So when Po rolled around, we knew that Vocaloid 6 was gonna be new. And we were pretty right. Porter Robinson was very excited for Po. He's a Vocaloid nerd. And he loved the idea of his voice being immortalized as a Vocaloid. So Po's voice is not exactly like Porter Robinson's. It's higher pitched and a lot more synthetic. That's because Po was developed in a way that replicates Porter Robinson's voice from his album Nurture. For a brief moment, Po had taken the world by surprise. A Porter Robinson Vocaloid. Vocaloid 6 was about to pop off. Except that Po didn't really go anywhere. It's a year and a half later as of posting this video, and I don't see a lot of usage with Po. Like, yeah, there are some big name producers that have used him, but generally speaking, it seems a lot of Western producers still prefer Synthesizer V. Which makes sense for a lot of reasons that all stem back to Vocaloid 5. Po is a wonderful Vocaloid that really stands out on his own, with a voice type you would never expect. Him and Ito Ha would be besties. Anyway, I think this is my favorite spread yet, Vocaloid Po.